Hello and welcome. If you are imagining a distant, sci-fi future when you hear the word robot, it is time to look around. The robot revolution is not coming, it is already here. It is just that it looks different from what we imagined. It is not always a humanoid machine serving us coffee. More often, it is the invisible, intelligent software that recommends your next movie, the algorithm that manages the traffic lights in your city to reduce congestion, or the automated system that processes your loan application in minutes. This quiet revolution began on the factory floor. For decades, large, powerful robotic arms have been assembling cars, welding metal, and packaging products with superhuman precision and speed. They work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without getting tired, making mistakes, or asking for a lunch break. This automation first took over tasks that were dangerous, repetitive, or physically demanding for humans. This was largely seen as a good thing. It made factories safer and products cheaper. But the revolution did not stop there. The real game changer has been the rise of artificial intelligence, or AI. Think of AI as the brain of a new generation of robots. Early robots could only do exactly what they were programmed to do. But AI-powered machines can learn. They can analyze vast amounts of data, recognize patterns, and even make decisions. This means they are no longer confined to the factory. They are in our homes as smart assistants, on our roads in self-driving cars, and in hospitals helping doctors analyze medical scans. This shift is profound. We are moving from machines that replace our muscles to machines that are starting to complement, and in some cases, challenge our minds. It feels sudden, but it has been a steady march of progress. The question is no longer if robots will change our world, but how we will adapt to a world they are helping to build. The rise of the robots is the backdrop of our modern lives, and it forces us to ask a fundamental question. In a world of increasingly capable machines, what is the unique value of a human being? To answer that, we must first look at the jobs that are already transforming. When we think of robots taking jobs, we often picture factory workers. And it is true, manufacturing has been transformed. But the reach of automation and AI is now extending far beyond the blue-collar world, into the offices and professions we once considered safe, the so-called white-collar jobs. Let us consider some examples. Are you an accountant? Software can now analyze thousands of receipts and invoices in seconds, categorizing expenses and spotting anomalies with an accuracy humans cannot match. Are you a paralegal or a legal researcher? AI can sift through millions of legal documents in minutes to find a specific case or precedent, a task that would take a team of humans weeks. Are you a financial analyst? Algorithms can process real-time market data from across the globe to execute trades or predict stock trends at a speed no human can comprehend. These are not just tools, they are active participants in the work. They are not getting tired at 4 p.m. on a Friday. They do not have bad days. For businesses, the appeal is undeniable: higher productivity, lower costs, and fewer errors. This creates a powerful economic pressure to automate. But this does not necessarily mean every accountant or analyst will be fired tomorrow. The initial impact is often on the tasks within a job, not the entire job itself. An accountant freed from the drudgery of data entry can focus on complex tax strategy and advising clients. A financial analyst can spend less time crunching numbers and more time understanding the deeper story behind the data. The challenge, and the opportunity, is one of transition. The job market is splitting. On one side, there is high demand for people who can build, manage, and work alongside these intelligent systems: the AI specialists, the data scientists, the robot coordinators. On the other side, there is a growing risk for roles that consist mostly of predictable, repetitive cognitive tasks. The key is to understand that the value of human labor is shifting from what you know to what you can do with what you know, your ability to think critically, creatively, and strategically in collaboration with the machines. This leads us to the core of what makes us human. So, if a machine can diagnose an illness from a scan or write a basic news report, what is left for us? This is not a question of despair, but of rediscovery. It forces us to identify and celebrate the uniquely human skills that are incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to automate. These are our superpowers. First and foremost is creativity and true innovation. An AI can analyze every painting ever made and generate a new image in a similar style. But it cannot imagine a completely new art movement from a place of raw human emotion. It cannot write a novel that captures the profound, messy experience of love and loss in a way that resonates with the human soul. It can solve a problem it is given, but it cannot feel the curiosity to ask a question that has never been asked before. Human creativity is born from our lived experiences, our struggles, our joys, and our irrationality. Next is emotional and social intelligence. A robot can recognize a smile on your face, but it cannot truly understand sarcasm, empathy, or trust. It cannot comfort a crying child, inspire a team to achieve a shared goal, or negotiate a delicate peace treaty by understanding the unspoken fears and motivations of each side. The most critical work in our society, teaching, caregiving, leadership, diplomacy, relies on this deep human connection. We are social creatures, and our ability to build relationships is a fundamental human advantage. Finally, there is critical thinking, ethics, and complex problem solving. An AI operates on the data it is trained on. It can find patterns, but it lacks common sense and a moral compass. It cannot make a nuanced ethical judgment. For instance, a self-driving car might be programmed to minimize casualties in an unavoidable accident, but a human understands the profound moral weight of that decision. In a complex, unpredictable situation with incomplete information, humans can draw on wisdom, intuition, and context that a machine simply does not possess. The future of work is not about humans versus machines. It is about humans and machines. The most powerful partnerships will be where the brute force calculation and data analysis of AI are guided by the creativity, empathy, and ethical judgment of a human being. The machine provides the what, and the human provides the so what and the now what. The most exciting future lies not in competition, but in collaboration. We are moving towards a world where humans and intelligent machines work together as partners, each playing to their strengths. This concept is often called collaborative robotics or cobots in factories, but the principle applies to every field. In healthcare, imagine a surgeon performing a delicate operation. Her hands are steady, but they are guided in real time by an AI that overlays a 3D model of the patient's anatomy, highlights critical blood vessels to avoid, and suggests the optimal path. The surgeon brings her years of experience, her tactile feel, and her ability to adapt if something unexpected happens. The AI brings superhuman precision and a vast database of surgical knowledge. Together, they achieve a better outcome than either could alone. In scientific discovery, researchers are using AI to analyze massive datasets, like genetic sequences or astronomical observations, to find patterns invisible to the human eye. The AI can process the data from 1 million stars, but it is the human scientist who then asks, why is that pattern there? What new theory of the universe does this suggest? The AI handles the data deluge, freeing the human mind for the leap of imagination that leads to a breakthrough. Even in creative fields, this partnership is flourishing. An architect might use an AI to generate 1,000 different design options for a building based on sunlight, wind patterns, and material strength. The AI produces the possibilities, but the architect then uses their aesthetic sense, their understanding of how people live and work, and their creative vision to select and refine the best design, infusing it with meaning and beauty. This collaborative model reshapes the economy. It creates new roles like AI trainer, automation ethicist, and human-machine teaming manager. Our education systems will need to adapt, focusing less on memorizing facts, which machines do perfectly, and more on fostering the human skills we discussed: creativity, critical thinking, communication, and collaboration. The goal is to build a future where technology does not replace us, but elevates us, allowing humans to focus on the work that is most fundamentally human. The rise of robots is not a force of nature like a hurricane, something that just happens to us. It is a tide of technology, and we have the power to build the boats and the harbors to navigate it. The future is not predetermined; it will be shaped by the choices we make today, as individuals, as companies, and as a society. The first and most personal choice is about lifelong learning. The idea of going to school for 20 years and then working for 40 with the same skills is over. To stay relevant, we must all become continuous learners. This does not necessarily mean everyone needs to learn how to code. It might mean a marketing professional learning how to use AI tools for customer insight, a factory worker training to maintain the robots on the line, or a nurse developing new skills in patient empathy and digital health technologies. Adaptability is the new currency. On a societal level, we face bigger questions. What happens if large portions of the population find their skills are no longer in demand? This challenges us to rethink our social contracts. We may need to consider new ideas like universal basic income or massive investment in retraining programs. The conversation needs to shift from saving old jobs to enabling people for new kinds of work and purpose. The goal should be to ensure that the immense wealth and productivity generated by automation benefits everyone, not just a small group of technology owners. Finally, we must establish a strong ethical framework for this new age. How do we prevent the algorithms that manage our lives from inheriting our human biases? Who is responsible when a self-driving car causes an accident? How do we protect our privacy in a world of constant data collection? These are not technical questions, they are human ones. They require public dialogue, thoughtful regulation, and a commitment to building technology that serves humanity, not the other way around. So, are humans still needed? The answer is a resounding yes. But our role is evolving. We are moving from being the primary doers of routine tasks to being the strategic thinkers, the creative innovators, the empathetic caregivers, and the ethical guides. The rise of the robots is not our end, it is our next great challenge and our greatest opportunity to redefine what it means to be human in a modern world. The future is not human or machine. The most promising future is human and machine, working together to build a world that is more prosperous, more creative, and more humane than we can imagine alone. The choice is ours to make.